Welcome to Roncalli High School in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am Stefan Welsh alongside Dan Sachs, and we are here to bring you the regional championship here during the boys volleyball regional championship game at Roncalli High School between that would be Avon and Roncalli tonight. Go ahead and take it away there, Dan.
So tonight we should be seeing a fairly dominant side on the Roncalli side, just because, I mean, obviously they're ranked number 2 in the state. They have a lot of veteran players, been playing club and high school volleyball for the last 4 years. All these players starting on lineup have been playing club for the last 4 years and high school. Most of them have been playing varsity level for the last 2 years. So on the Avon side, there's 2 or 3 kids that I recognize from the club here in Indianapolis. A couple of them, or one of them from Salt and the other one from the academy. So I don't see the experience level on the Avon side. So
this is a number 2 and a number 15 matchup here in this regional championship. So I mean, Roncalli, the number 2 ranked team in the state right now, and that would mean that Avon is the number 15 ranked in the state. And Avon's going to have serve here first. We're going to see a pretty good serve receive from Roncalli here. Very experienced on one side of the net and relatively new in terms of having a team here in the high school boys club season in Avon.
Yep. Yeah, so right there you can kind of see Roncalli already setting the pace with that first pass set and kill.
That's right. The senior Connor Kuntz back to serve. He floats it over. Avon's able to take that one, and they put it down for the kill in the back row.
Yeah, I was watching number 7 there in the regional semis. He gets up, and
yes.
he's a big kid, and getting up nice and high.
Already a tall kid.
Yeah.
Indeed. Nice top spin and a great pass by Austin. That ball pushed over but not able to be handled by Avon there. So that's a pretty good top spin serve from number 9 there in the back.
Yeah, that's Giovanni. He's one kid. He's played club volleyball over this past winter, so he has that experience.
Back to serve for the Rebels, Alex Payne. And that's an overpass. Zach Stromans will take that one, and then Josh Byrne tools that one off of the block there. So Alex Payne back to serve again. 3-1 lead for Roncalli. Nice top spin by Alex, but as we'll see in most of these matches from here on out, gonna have to serve tough to come away with wins here.
Yep. Yeah, Payne's transitioned from the standing float to the top spin recently, which I'm glad to see.
Growth in that player, and that's a pretty nice a nice run there from Roncalli. Josh getting the kill in the back row. Good set, good play, good pass.
Yeah.
And you can't run those plays unless you have good passes.
Yeah. That kind of pass out of serve receive is crucial to be able to run a play like that. Typically you see those plays in free balls, but with their passing in serve receive, it's going to give them that edge to get to the championship.
Benji Pesto, old reliable into serve there for Roncalli. And Benji causes some issues with his float serve there, not able to be handled in the back row by Avon.
The float lefty.
Float lefty, Benji Pesto, senior, was on the roster last year for the state championship team, first ever in Roncalli's history. He serves that one into zone 1, or tries to hit zone 1, but floats it out. And once again, trying to serve tough. Here's a jump top spin from Avon, and that one is in and passed by Connor pretty well.
Yep.
And they have Josh coming in behind. I don't know what it was they were trying to run, but Josh came in and hit something out of the middle behind Luke Grannon in the middle.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to run some type of stack play, the 1-2.
Timing was off a little bit there, it looked like.
Set was a little lower, Josh was a little late.
Josh goes back to serve and trying the jump top and serves that one into the net.
Yep.
Got a 4-6 ball game here in the first set at Roncalli High School for the regional championship. Number 15 for Avon back to serve. And it looks like most of these Avon kids we've seen so far are doing a jump top.
Yep.
Maybe not that aggressive, but jump topping. Nice dig, a nice up, and that is going to be tooled off of the block. Point Avon.
Yep.
Avon, a school on the west side of Indianapolis. Well, not actually in Indianapolis, but on the west side of Indianapolis. And Roncalli, of course, the south side here. And Josh, not able to pass that one, was thinking perhaps it was going to be out or someone was going to take it before him. And that's an ace. Ace on the sideline there. So Rebels going through some struggles here. 6-6 ball game.
Yep.
First set. That one taken by Benji and set up to Connor on the outside. Pass there, and number 2 really swinging away on the outside for Avon, getting a couple of kills early. What are you seeing there, Dan?
Well, I mean, Roncalli is just not getting their first contact. Avon's capitalizing. That's why they're in this game with them right now. They're capitalizing on easy passes, easy contacts coming over the net.
Yeah. And this kid's been able to, until just then, get his top spin over with at least causing a little bit of confusion in the passing every now and then.
You cursed him.
I cursed him.
Curse you, Stefan.
The dreaded broadcaster's curse. So back to serve now for the Rebels, Austin Hendricks, who floats that over. Austin, we've talked about before in the broadcast. Is that one off of the top of the block? Nope. Oh, we got a touch.
They did call that. That was a very small touch.
Yeah, they got a touch off the top of the block. Anyway, we'll finish our conversation about Austin here. One of the best passers, most prolific passers in Roncalli history.
Yeah.
Recently, well, by the end of the season, will own the career digs mark here at Roncalli. And that was a really nice pass, a really nice set, and that one put away in the back corner there by Alex Payne, who's having a heck of a season himself.
Yeah, he transitioned to the middle right around the Cathedral game when we did this last. And, I mean, he's just being that athletic quickness in that middle with some power. It's just
well, part of Sam Island serves that one out, but part of what has made Alex Payne, you've coached him, is a very versatile player, could play on the outside, could play on the right side, could play in the middle.
Yep.
And you want him to be swinging up there whenever he's available, but part of what has made him such a good success story for Roncalli this year, and a little bit of a surprise, is that when in the beginning of the season we had 2 middles, and he wasn't playing that often in the middle.
Right.
But Sean Haberthy went down with back injury, and he's out for the rest of the season. So they really need to figure out who else can play middle for him. And Coach Kesterson threw Alex Payne in there.
Yeah.
And that has paid dividends for sure.
Yeah. Payne is not the kid that's going to say no, especially to play the game of volleyball. And he'll do whatever you ask him, 110%, and that's why he's being so successful in the middle. I mean, he's getting pin to pin with blocks, and he's up there in blocks this season. I think he's pretty close to breaking the Roncalli season record for blocks.
Yep. Just after Tuesday was 5 blocks away.
Yep.
Doesn't have a block yet in this match, but we could see him perhaps even break that mark tonight.
Yep.
And Nathan Marshall checked in for Alex to serve for him. And that ball is put up and into the front court of Roncalli. And Zach Strawman's making his first appearance, getting his first kill of the night.
Yep. Nathan Marshall back to serve again. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of Zach Strawman's putting that ball down. He is one of their top hitting percentage players. Nathan with the short float. Yeah, I would set him too. He's that kid that's going to get up and high. That's a mismatch that they're going to have to adjust to with that kid, especially if the serving isn't as aggressive, to give him a nice 3-pass option. Number 5 back to serve for Avon. Another top float or top spin. Just a bit outside. Benji Pesto back in for Zach Strawmans. Come back for that float serve, probably heading towards zone 1. Decent pass by Avon, and number 7 with the tip. And Roncalli not able to be successful at the block.
Rebels not off to the start that we expected, I guess.
Yeah, definitely not.
But Avon being a little surprising here to me. This is my first time seeing Avon play this season.
Yeah, mine too.
At a couple of weeks during the season, they were in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see why. They have a handful of players that really know what they're doing.
Yeah, they have the athleticism, and they're coming out super aggressive right now, what you need to do against the number 2 team in the state.
And it looks like Roncalli here is really just making a lot of errors. Hitting out right now.
Yeah, they're just not controlling their side of the court. They got to take a deep breath, pass that ball, get it to Sam so he can set his hitters. And those hitters have to do their job of keeping that ball in play.
Right. Serve over from Avon, taken by Sam there with the set, and Luke Grannon gets a kill. We'll see how much Roncalli uses the middles today. Just more recently in practice, I've seen Roncalli trying to use middles a lot more. It's going to be important going on through the rest of the season here as the Rebels make their playoff push. But if you can work through the middle first, then it's going to open stuff up on the outside, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's the quickest set in the game is your middle 1 ball. So if you can establish that pretty quick in the set or match, you'll be successful for your pins later on.
Awesome with the hard float, and Avon able to recover after not a great pass. And Sam goes up for the kill there and hits that one out. And it looks like Coach is trying to give it to his setter there. Hey, we need better decisions type of thing. Sam, Indiana Player of the Year last year, can see that he has, he's trying to grow into that leader that Roncalli needs. And struggling just a little bit with it sometimes. Mm-hmm. Some of his decision making, no doubt the effort is there, but sometimes the decision making is not yet.
Right. Yeah, and that all comes with experience. I think this year is going to help a lot, and then when he gets to college, that higher level and not knowing where the block's going to go is going to help significantly.
And that's a good sign for the Rebels right there, Sam getting his jump top in, because he's one of the more prolific servers that Roncalli has. And just anyone in general in Indiana, a jump top spin like Sam getting it over and in there is going to look different just from a lefty standpoint. Just like in baseball, left-handed pitchers have a little more success. Left-handed servers have a little more success.
Yep, yeah, it's definitely abnormal. Just a different look, yeah.
And right now, Roncalli with a 2-point lead in set number 1. Avon, as I was saying earlier, surprising us a little bit. What are you seeing from Avon, Dan?
I'm just seeing aggression. I mean, they're just coming out swinging at everything. Number 7 in that front row is it's gonna give Roncalli a little bit of a headache, especially from the offensive side. You see their Payne being a little quicker than number 7, and that's what they need to do. Sam needs to set that ball away from number 7's base on blocking. Make him move because he's tall and he jumps really well, but his lateral movement's not going to be the same quickness as Payne's. So I see a lot of 31s in the future for Payne.
Right. See if we can move that ball, make the blockers move, and take advantage of some of the seams that might be popping up there in the front row. And Eli Mann had checked into the game and served, but served that one into the net. I think he was trying to hit a short zone.
Yeah. Yeah, he was probably going for that mid-zone serve.
Yeah. And Zach Strawmans, it's always a good thing when you can set Big Zach getting the kill there on the right side.
Second highest hitting percentage on the team. He's about a 465, I think, right now, hitting percentage.
Right.
Alex Payne actually jumping up above him at like a 485. So this front row, or when Payne was in the front row, is very strong for Roncalli.
Right. And there you see big number 7, Bowman, scoring for Avon, and not surprising, he tools it off the top of the block there in the middle. Avon back to serve. That one handled by Josh in the back, or in the front row, I should say. Josh playing front row right now. And then that ball being hit off of the chest, I believe, of Zach Strawman's.
Yeah.
Just what happens when you overpass it. I mean, the ball's going to get punished.
Especially to a kid that touches probably 11 foot plus.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely touch the top of the pins, I would think.
Yeah.
And Zach hitting that one outside. It looked like a little bit of a lower, quicker set. May not have been ready for it, but you always got to be ready.
Yeah, that's your job as a hitter. Better that ball.
Connor taking that pass really nice, and that one being blocked. Big number 7 for Avon, just on a roll right now. Luke Grannon being blocked there. Didn't look like he was going for anything aggressive. I don't think that it was a trap set necessarily, but number 7 just penetrated the zone really well there.
Yep, and he didn't have to move.
And he didn't move, you're right.
Yep,
right.
It was right in front of him. That's an easy block for anyone. I mean, anybody can jump right straight up and see that to get a block kill.
Josh getting up and swinging across. That one is not able to be handled by Avon. We can, I guess, now talk about the roof and in the woodshed here at Roncalli.
Yeah, I'll give that point to the woodshed. We'll bring it back. That's number 1.
Yeah, old ceilings, old lower ceilings. Of course, this is probably going to be the last home game before the new gym is introduced for the Rebels next year.
Yeah.
And that ceiling is much, much taller. And Avon here struggling again, but able to save it and get it back over and playable. Austin with a great pass, and that one just covered in tape by Josh. Number 7 free balls that one over. Sam Meir able to hit that one in the middle. We'll see if the Rebels can put one down. And from the back row, Connor Kuntz able to answer for the Rebels, and that one has been called in by the line judge, but overruled by the up ref, called out.
Yep. I guess the up ref had a little bit better angle.
Yeah.
Must have just missed that outside edge of the line. It was a good swing, good attempt.
See if the Rebels can pound some out here in the front row with number 7 in the back row. That one, not sure if we were trying to set an A ball there or a 4, but there was miscommunication by the left sides there.
Yeah, it looked like an intended back row attack set. However, communication wasn't there for sure.
Yeah, it looks like things aren't going so hot for the Rebels right now, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll be back. Roncalli down 20-22 in the first set at the regional championship. And welcome back to the woodshed. Roncalli down 20-22 to Avon in the first set of the regional championship here. And Josh able to roll that one over the block and into the donut.
Yep, keep it in play. That's what you need to do. Just find some type of rhythm to get those kills.
So crunch time for the Rebels here in set number 1. Earlier on today, Avon defeated Southport 3-1.
Yeah, it ended up to be a good set. The last set was a really good play on both sides.
And, of course, the Rebels defeating Franklin Central in 3 straight in the first match of the day here at Roncalli. So this is your regional championship, number 2 versus number 15. Avon is up 23-21 right now, looking to seal the deal here in set number 1, go up, have some big momentum on the number 2 team in the state. Benji Pesto passes that one. Sam Island looking to go for Josh Byrne out of the back row there, and I think that Josh was on the line anyways, on that 10-foot line, but Josh rolls it into the middle of the net. 24-21, first set point for Avon.
Yeah. Aggressive serving from Avon has really kind of put Roncalli's serve receive on their heels.
Right. Number 15, Hayden Everhart, and he hits that one into the net. Almost crawled over.
I think I cursed him that time.
You did. Yeah, I think I did it the first time. You did it that time. And then we got Austin Hendricks here. He's going to have to hold his serve for a few points to see if the Rebels can come back and tie and then maybe even win this first set. And that not going to be the case. Number 2, Luke Davis gets the kill on the outside for Avon, and they pull off a heck of a shocker in the first set there. Rebels going to have to figure out some momentum building right now. I mean, looking like a team that is struggling mentally.
Yes, that was definitely a mental loss on their side. They let one mistake kind of compile to 2, 3, 5 mistakes, and it just took the set away from them. They couldn't do it. They just couldn't come back from that mental mistakes that they were having. So,
well, at the end of set 1, Avon, number 15, ahead 1-0. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Just one more.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Are you a barista? Because I like you a latte.
MILTO Cleaners. We're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
I surrender.
And welcome back to the Woodshed here at Roncalli High School. You are joining us for the regional championship here, and bit of a shocker in the first set. Number 15, Avon, upsetting Roncalli, the number 2 team in the state. And it just looked like to us Roncalli was going through the motions, not exactly attacking, making what seemed to us as a team that we've seen play a lot, some silly mistakes.
Yeah. Their aggression, their confidence just wasn't there. Avon outplayed them that entire set, and Roncalli unfortunately paid for it. That's what happens when you let teams see the laziness on your side. So,
right. Well, I'm Stefan Welsh. Alongside me, Dan Sachs. I didn't say that when we first came back here, but we are now going to have the opportunity to be joined by a hero of sorts in men's volleyball and boys volleyball, not only in the state of Indiana but across the country. So, Wade Gerard, Wonderful to have you.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yes, no problem. So Wade, you're joining us. You make your home in Zionsville. You're very familiar with men's and boys volleyball. What is it that what's your goal here with Motor MVB? And you can introduce Motor MVB a little bit too.
Sure, Motor MVB, we're a foundation that's driving growth of boys and men's volleyball. And I co-founded the foundation back in 2016 with John Speraw, who's the head coach of the USA men's national team and also the UCLA head men's volleyball coach. And we are accelerating what's already a pretty fast pace of growth for boys everywhere across the country. We're just making it go faster.
Right. And you and I were talking about Colorado recently sanctioning the sport at the high school level, and is that something that in the future that you're wanting to see? I mean, of course you want to see it in Indiana, but is that something that we can achieve here hopefully in the next handful of years, you think?
Well, I do think that we will see IHSAA officially sanction high school boys volleyball. I know I join with others in hoping that would have happened by now or will happen as faster than it might. And having said that, I think they said that same thing in Colorado, where I know you're from.
Yes.
Just 4 years ago, the growth over a 3-year period, they went from 350 boys to 650 boys to 1,000 boys in a 3-year period. And then their high school athletic association, a great attack there. Big point.
That was awesome.
Roncalli's got the energy now.
Yeah, exactly. I think assistant coach there might have said, "What's wrong with you? Let's get going." So big kill there by Alex Payne, who we were talking about earlier. Alex really stepped up for the Rebels this year. We had 2 different starting middles. One of them went down, and Alex has really fit in a versatile player, fit in the middle, and that's a block for him there, right? Is just a handful of blocks away now from becoming the most prolific single-season blocker for Roncalli ever in Roncalli's boys volleyball history.
As a junior, too.
That's a lot of blockers. Too.
As a junior.
That's incredible. Great history here at Roncalli for sure.
Yes. And Avon, number 2, Davis swinging out of the back row, but finds the middle of the net with that one. So Eli Mann back to serve, number 31 for the Rebels. Rebels on a 6-0 run here to start set number 2. Eli gets that one over. Bowman takes it. Ceiling almost got that one. Nice dig there by Eli. Sam Island with the set, and a nice little change-up roll shot there from Josh. And we have our first time out of this set. Avon taking their first time out. We are going to take a break with them. We'll be back in about 30 seconds here. Welcome back to the woodshed here at Roncalli High School after our first time out here. Looks like we're having some troubles mopping up some moisture on the floor here. But Rebels out to a good lead here, 7-0. Dan, what are you seeing that's a little different right now?
I think we can hear it, actually. The energy level, not just from the fans, but the entire court, like the entire bench, everyone is just in it to win it right now, and we did not see any of that mentality from that first set.
Right, a lot of going through the motions in the first set there. Still working on some moisture over there on the Avon side. You're about to see Eli Mann, the junior, serve for the Rebels. And we are joined here by Wade Gerard of Motor MVB, talking about the growth of boys and men's volleyball in the United States. And we've mentioned Colorado sanctioning the sport. Want to get it sanctioned here as soon as possible. I do have one question about sanctioning. what are the advantages? I mean, it seems like Indiana's got this really awesome, nice, strong boys club volleyball already. What is sanctioning at the IHSAA level going to change, or what would that change for the sport here?
Well, for one, more administrators, high school ADs, once officially sanctioned by IHSAA, will be more likely to add the sport. So what we'll see in both Ohio and Colorado is close to a doubling, and we think there are a lot of administrators here in Indiana that if IHSAA were to say this is going to be an officially sanctioned, provide opportunities for more students, even in rural areas of our state, you'll see more high school programs quickly add once it's official. And so really we're in the opportunity business, right?
Yeah.
Providing more opportunities for more kids to play this game.
So here we are, set number 2. Avon yet to score, 11-0. Eli Mann still serving in the back row there for the Rebels. He floats that one over, and that is number 5, Eric Devine, scooting out of there, maybe a little too eager to hit, and the libero, there's just obviously some miscommunication.
Yeah. Looks like the energy of Roncalli is starting to get to Avon and kind of diminish it a little bit. Roncalli's just doing everything that they're supposed to, their job.
There we go. A little dump attempt by the Rebels there with Zach. And number 7, Bowman in the back row now. Seems to be a vulnerable position for this Avon squad.
Yeah.
At the net especially.
Using his length to his advantage, though, with getting a decent touch.
Yeah. And there we go, hitting out of the back row. Nice dig by Austin there. And Big Sweaty takes a swing at that one and tips the ball back over after the stone wall there. And here comes Josh Byrne with the swing. And that was a really nice dig by number 2, Davis. Really nice dig. I don't know that I've seen a one-hand cross-court dig like that yet this season. That was sweet.
Yep.
Here's Eli to serve again on quite the roll here, the Rebels are, and that one is dumped by number 9. Giovanni, yes. Giovanni's played some club there. Dan recognizes Giovanni. So, Wade, as Avon gets to serve here, have you seen either one of these teams play yet this season?
A couple times Roncalli on stream, but not live this year. I spent a lot of time on the road traveling, and I think certainly the first set of high school volleyball where I've been interviewed during a 14-0 run. But obviously, Roncalli a good serving team, and in the second set here, first touch volleyball, passing the ball, serve receiver.
Right.
Kind of seemed to get things under control here.
Yeah. It's really, if you can serve at them more than they serve at you, that's a pretty good. Pretty good omen.
I also thought it was a timeout at 22-20 where Coach Kesterson, you could tell, was sternly talking to the team, but he stayed pretty relaxed, body language wise throughout this, and
oh, that's bad. Tight set there, and that one going Avon's way off of the block. Okay, so talking more about Motor MVB and what you do, Wade. What is it that Motor MVB does? You're trying to grow the game.
Well, if we're going to triple participation of boys playing in America over 2 quads, over an 8-year period, we talk about quads in the Olympic Games, right?
Okay.
To build a pipeline for talent of boys playing, provide more opportunities. To do that, we have to have more places to play at the next level, some more scholarship opportunities, more roster opportunities in college. And so a lot of our
Stonewall there. That was a nice one,
up.
Put straight down. That's the kind where the ball hits the ground before your feet do when you're up on the block there.
Yeah, that can be scary, right?
Benji Pesto back to serve for the Rebels. So with Motor MVB trying to grow the game, meaning so you're trying to go from the top level down, making more opportunities for kids later on in college and in high school, that will then help grow the game at the lower levels?
It's top down, bottom up both. So we have raised $2.4 million in 2 years.
Luke Grannon with the kill for the Rebels.
from volleyball families, brands, and we have awarded $600,000 in grants to help start 14 universities. So 14 new Division I, Division II NAIA colleges have started men's volleyball.
What are some of the new ones? You have a
Well, St. Francis Brooklyn in the Northeast Conference is a D1, and we made a $100,000 grant to St. Francis, and that's notable because it was the first D1 to start men's volleyball as a D1 in 18 years.
wow.
So it's a good monkey off our back.
Yeah.
In Division III, we'll wait for the serve here.
Yeah. Dumped by Island there, taken by Davis, and that one was just not passed very well in the middle. And Eli getting a nice swing in, and Luke Grannon getting a swing in from an overpass. We'll see where that ball comes down. And nice roll shot over there by Giovanni, taken by Byrne, and he's going to hit that one out in the back row there.
But yeah, we've seen over 80 new college men's volleyball programs start in the last 5 years. So we're over 200 now.
Wow.
And the growth has been pretty tremendous in Division III, NAIA, Division II. And now we're starting to see Division I schools look at this sport, largely because of the female growth, right? We're kind of rolling along with the current here. It's the #1 team sport in America for girls, passing softball and soccer.
Yep.
So the numbers are on our side, and it's pretty dramatic to paddle along with that current.
Absolutely.
But top down, that's where we're spending time with college ADs. I call on college presidents. We're going to NACTA, which is the big ADs conference. There's schools like UIndy, the University of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
We think would be a great addition, and eventually we'll have volleyball here at IU and Purdue, in my opinion, as well.
That'd be awesome.
It's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
Right. And so now in the state of Indiana right now at the college level, what programs do we have that already have volleyball, men's volleyball?
Well, certainly Purdue Fort Wayne and Ball State have been two of our hallmark programs in Division I. Judson, Goshen, we've got some NAIA programs that are, and then some really great dominant club teams. Historically, you've got the Purdue club team and others that have
Dan,
got
alumni
Dan,
of
fist pumping here.
the Purdue club team there.
But there's just a ton of interest to play the game. Yeah, there were 470 teams at the men's collegiate club championships. So a lot of club teams are positioning themselves with ADs.
Collegiate Club Championship in Denver this year.
Correct.
I went to it. I attended that in Kansas City and in Dallas a couple of years to watch my wife compete. That was nice.
I've been there a few times. Probably one time more than I should have at the collegiate level, just because I took a victory lap. But I really enjoyed that national experience. But there's kids that I know could be playing at that next level,
Right.
and you just look at them like, how could you not get that opportunity or that scholarship or just a look to play at that level? And it's just not out there.
Yeah,
at
sure.
the time when I was in school, at least.
Right.
Yep.
And it's great to hear that those kids that could be playing under some type of scholarship are getting that more of an opportunity now than they ever have. So
Right.
I think it's awesome.
Well, and then the bottom-up approach is to do more and more clinics. We've got a diversity initiative and more effort to introduce our game to underrepresented populations and economically disadvantaged areas. And then the high school growth has been notable. So it is worth mentioning that we are by far the fastest-growing team sport in America for boys in high school.
Fastest growing team sport.
21% over the last 5 years,
Wow.
and -9% for high school boys football. So we've seen this decline in football, and they're coming to volleyball.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right, yeah, a decline in football numbers coming into volleyball now. And right now, just to get back to the game action here, the Rebels find themselves up 21-10. Had a little bit of a rough go there for just a little while number 14 was serving for Avon. That would have been, oh my gosh, not number 14. Number 15, just Hayden Everhart. But Sam Island serving for the Rebels now, a senior leader trying to close out this set and tie up the match 1-1.
Yeah, make a statement on this one for sure.
Right.
And they're doing it.
And Avon's going to take a timeout here. So with that timeout, we are going to take a quick timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Woodshed magic hopefully happening for the Rebels here.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Woodshed. I'm Stefan Welsh alongside Dan Sachs, and in the booth we welcome Wade Gerard of Motor MVB. Just want to get back to the game here real quick. 23-10. Roncalli opened up this set on a 14-0 run when Wade Gerard was talking. So Wade, I invite you to give us some more information about boys volleyball growth, not only in the state of Indiana but throughout the country.
Well, sure. We were speaking during the break about the growth of NAIA, where just 3 years ago there were 34 programs, and now there's 46 teams. And for the first year, NAIA sponsored this as a national championship sport. So another little signal, as well as the D3 growth, which is actually doubled in 5 years. So.
Really nice rally going on right now here. We got Davis with the touch, and it really helps when you got a guy at the net that's 6'8", that's able to
6'8", can't teach 6'8".
You can't teach 6'8", that's
I wish
for
you
sure.
could.
Right.
We got to figure out how to do that.
I'm trying every day.
Not working.
Every day to teach
right.
6'8".
Right.
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Roncalli able to even the set, even the matches, I should say. Match 1 set to 1 set here. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching to the Rebel Media Network.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Okay, just one more. We'll be fine.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Are you a barista? Because I like you a latte.
MILTO Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back here to the Woodshed. I am Stefan Welsh alongside my partner Dan Sachs, and we are welcoming back Wade Gerard here of the Motor MVB Foundation, trying to push the growth of men's and boys volleyball throughout the country. And that one looked like a little bit of a funky serve attempt there from Jacob. I should have asked him how he says his name. Cascaden or Suskaden. And the Rebels will even up the ante there by throwing that one into the net. That was Eli Mann there. So Rebels able to even up the sets 1-1. What did we see there, Dan, in that second set that we want to see more of here?
Well, first contact, Austin proving it right there. First contact was, they probably went from a 1.2 passing average to that pass being right there. They're probably above that 2.0 passing average, which is, I know what the assistant coach, my wife, Cassie Sachs, wants from them, is above a 2.0 minimum. She expects probably about a 2.5. And
Giovanni served that one out. But, yeah, we're seeing the passing pick up, and just in general we were noticing that there was more energy in the gym when the Rebels were playing better. It was definitely something that the coaches focused on, it seemed like, just bringing the energy, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see boring volleyball.
Nope.
Nobody wants to play boring volleyball.
Especially from the number 2 team in the state.
And the number 2 team in the state needs to be powerful and quick and energetic, and they certainly brought that in the second set. That ball off of the block, trying to be recycled to the other side there by the Rebels. They were able to do that. Avon picks up the roll, and that one goes begging through Eli Mann's hands there. Avon coming out with a little more pep in their step in this set, so early 4-2 lead for them. So Wade would like to bring you back into the conversation here. We're talking about growing the sport, wanting to get it sanctioned here in Indiana. What are some things that people can do to help the effort?
Well, there is an active group of leaders in Indiana that are advocates for boys volleyball and have been for years and years. And certainly members of the Roncalli community included, and with the explosion of girls volleyball, there's a lot of champions on the women's side of this sport too across the country, and certainly here in Indiana. But there is a committee, and we have conference calls both nationally and with the Indiana group. Recently an effort to petition IHSAA that would change the requirement for the amount of percentage of schools that sponsor the sport for it to be sanctioned. And I think we can be some more thoughtful advocates on that committee that also work on the both the surveying and the advocacy of local administrators. I mean, right now you see on this committee states like Minnesota that have added 51 high schools in 2 years, and we have 44 high schools in Indiana.
And that's going from zero. That's going from 0 to 51,
so Minnesota
right?
went from 0 to 51 high schools, from 0 to 1,000 boys in a 2-year period.
Unbelievable.
So I think if there's some goals set and we make a conscious decision that we want 60 schools, then we start working our list of 400-plus schools that have girls volleyball or boys basketball, right? So you can look at the market share.
Sure.
And let's decide which dozen will be the next ones, and let's thoughtfully approach those schools.
Oh. So does Benji Pesto to serve for the Rebels, and that's a kill there for Bowman. Bowman playing real tough out of the middle right here.
Yeah, he's having a good match. He's using his height to his advantage, and the setter's making the right choice. But I think the height difference in jumps is just throwing Roncalli's block off just a tad.
Oh yeah, for sure. Top spin, jump top, I should say. That wasn't too hard to handle, and Luke Grannon able to put that ball down in the back row. When you got a big guy playing in the back row, sometimes it's not always the best, and it looks like the up ref needs the who is that? That's Connor. Connor needs Connor Cadwalader running the flag over there to get just a little closer.
Get to his corner.
Just a little closer to the court there. And Benji takes that one. Nice set by Sam, and Connor able to tool that one off of the block there. So we have Josh Byrne back to serve. Josh, pretty good athlete, does the jump topspin a lot of times, but goes for float on that one. And maybe that's something that coaches talked about being a conscious decision for the rest of the team. Hey, let's float our serves in and then beat them on the usual volleyball play, right?
Yeah, and force them to make their mistakes. Keep that ball controlled in the court and let them play that first contact, because you're going to out first contact them all day,
right.
No matter what's coming across that net. So.
Right. So there's Josh floating it into zone 1 again. Bowman making the desperation play there. Nice dig by Benji and a roll shot there by Josh. We're using Josh a lot right now. And that one rolled over.
Yep.
Sam pushes that back over. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get something running here. Out of the middle with Grannon, and he's able to put that one away. So really tippy sequence to start with. Some control issues, but we saw a couple of really nice digs, and now Luke Grannon being able to kill that ball into zone 1.
Yeah, Roncalli mixed up a lot of shots in there. They were getting the sets, but we threw tips and swings.
Josh with the float back, and number 2 Davis is going to take a swing at this, and he's really surprised me. Like I said, this is my first time seeing Avon play this year, but I'm seeing Davis take some really good aggressive swings and not necessarily wanting to kill the ball in the court, but he seems like he's being conscious of tooling the block a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got a little bit quicker swing, and the ball's getting out there a little faster than the block is, so he's taking that. He's using that to his advantage for sure.
Everhart gets that one over and in, plays a little defense in the back row while he's at it, and that one is tipped over by number 13 for Avon. Set back up for Connor Kuntz, and that one is going to be down. So Connor gets a kill there. And the Rebels out to an 11-7 lead here in set number 3, tied 1-1. We talked about earlier in the day, this is the regional championship as Austin Hendricks goes back to serve. Roncalli defeated Franklin Central in 3 straight. That was a 2-31 matchup. Southport fell to this Avon team in the match immediately after that, 3-1. And now we have number 2 versus number 15, Avon, in the regional championship here. So Austin Hendricks back to serve. Wade, bringing you back in. We're talking about the growth of boys volleyball and what you're doing with Motor MVB. You're talking about a possible name change for your organization in the next few weeks, perhaps. And can you explain why?
Sure.
Yeah.
In June, our foundation will become the First Point Volleyball Foundation. And this is after a couple years of motoring men's volleyball, Motor MVB, which was our name up till now. And just an easier name to have folks get their identity around our brand identity. And so we are about celebrating initiating first points of program history. And that's been the most rewarding thing in this effort in the last 2 years is our donors. And first point of inaugural program, right? First high school team, first point of a new college program, and really just the first time a 12-year-old gets to play our great sport, and he's hooked forever, right?
Sure.
So
it's what helps Roncalli a heck of a lot. Is we talked about on our last broadcast, the CYO game was, Dan wasn't here with me. It was Mitchell Lard, but a kid getting the opportunity to play the game when they're in 5th grade as opposed to when they're in high school, and how much that grows the sport, not only just in attendance and opportunity, but in skill as well.
No question. I hear from so many 17-year-olds and families of guys playing the game at 17, 16 that just wish they had started earlier, loving the game in their junior and senior year. And so while we look for more collegiate opportunities, high school sanctioning will cause more growth downstream too, with middle school programs being right in line for where there's high school programs. And
Dan and I were talking about that, and it seems that, you get those kids, those young kids that get involved at the CYO level right now, as the Woodshed claims another point.
Number 4 to clarify.
Yeah, the Avon gym, these guys aren't used to this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. I remember playing a game at Fishers earlier in the season and thinking, there's no way anybody's touching any of those. But getting back to the growth of the game, it seems like sanctioning sanctioning a sport would then make it more available and bring it to the attention more so to kids in a public school setting, because right now the Catholic Youth Organization has a really great program set up for volleyball for boys and girls at a young age, so they're getting to experience the game for the first time at a younger age, and that's leading them to make good decisions or follow their dreams and whatnot of playing later on and just learning the game more, so playing at the club level and stuff like that. Alex Payne made a really good decision there, threw the ball into the back row there. Nobody was there for it in the corner, and the Rebels are up 17-10. We are going to take a really quick break, 30 seconds. Sets are tied 1-1. Welcome back to the Roncalli gym we call the Woodshed here. I am Stefan Welsh, alongside me Dan Sachs. And regional championship match here. Roncalli up 18-10. I almost said 18-0. They did enjoy a 14-0 run in the second set, though, against Avon after dropping the first set. Connor Kuntz, the senior, back to serve. That one taken by Davis in the back row, and it looks like Giovanni's going to give it back to him. And Davis swings and hits that one into the middle of the net. So we're talking about growing the sport here with Wade Gerard of Motor MVB. Wade, what's something? I mean, why do you think it's easy for an Indiana school, or for any school, and for that matter, to add a sport like boys volleyball in the spring season? I mean, what are some of the challenges, I suppose, to adding a sport?
Sure. So facilities can sometimes be an issue, and then but you tend to have volleyball people already at your school. So I always say this is not an emerging sport. This is volleyball, and so equipment, nets, gym time late in the spring tends to free up, and there's also time to navigate, we find. So that's certainly one issue. Title IX is certainly something in gender equity that comes into mind when you're a high school AD or a school board superintendent, and those are legitimate factors that anyone in high school athletics has to be concerned with. And yet what we find is that when asked to, let's say, a local high school AD, if you were to add a boys sport and not a girls sport at the same time, would that have an impact on Title IX? And the answer is yes. But when asked a different question, would it actually put you out of compliance in Title IX? That is, proportionality, gender equity compared to their high school student body population. The answer is sometimes then no. So in Colorado, for example, they found that 79% of high schools could add a boys sport without adding a girls sport at the same time and still stay in compliance, particularly when viewed in a 3 to 5 year enrollment average. Right, so when looking at, and I think there's plenty of girls sports that we ought to be looking to pilot and as emerging sports here in Indiana that also get students off couches and off their devices and into athletics. Girls wrestling, unified bowling, boys volleyball. There's lots of potential emerging sports in America, and I'd like to see IHSA further define a process towards piloting emerging sports.
What in Colorado they piloted for 2 years, or maybe a year. I can't remember what that was exactly. But I mean, what would a piloting process look like to you if we were going to go through something like that here in Indiana?
Well, we suspect there'll be a vote in Ohio too in June, which has passed its executive committee to go ahead and make boys volleyball a pilot sport, and a lot of times that is from a way the game is played, how the championship is run, and so much of our high school tournament here in the state of Indiana feels like a state title, state tournament.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot that we already do, but I think we could examine exactly the protocols that IHSAA would take in a postseason championship if they were running the whole thing, and how we do things currently, and make that process a lot more seamless. The bylaw that they used in Colorado, our statewide committee chair for Motor MVB, Scott Siegfried, also a board member of our foundation, is the one who CHASA, their high school athletic association, used to write the bylaw. And they submitted it as a formal process for how girls wrestling, unified bowling, and boys volleyball would be piloted over a 2-year period. And they essentially got rid of this notion that you had to have a certain percentage or a certain amount of schools sponsoring the sport before it could be even a road towards sanctioning, a 2-year process of piloting, where girls wrestling only had 13 high schools initially. And yet it's now been sanctioned because it was part of a 2-year pilot. And so I know our committee here in Indiana has used the same bylaw language to submit to IHSAA to suggest, could we have a more formal way of looking at emerging sports? There's been an emerging sports committee here for years, and they do a good job. And so I think the most important thing I would conclude in saying is that we shouldn't be judgmental on an AD who feels that he or she can't add another sport right now for money or transportation or facilities. We should not be judgmental on IHSAA.
Right.
Let's understand how we can provide more opportunities for young people. Let's see what other sports might be in the landscape for Indiana. And you really can't argue with numbers would be the last thing. 21% growth rate over a 5-year period. But I'm telling you, they're having an easier time getting sanctioning in Minnesota and Colorado when they go to 350 boys to 1,000 boys in 3 years, and 0 boys to 1,000 boys in 2 years in Minnesota. So I'd like to see us double the amount of high schools playing boys volleyball in 2 years, 3 years, and then I don't think this is a political issue. I think it's a momentum issue at that point.
Right. Yeah. Why not?
Right.
A big wave there. So Roncalli winning that third set, going up 2-1 here. Dan, getting back to the game here. Wade, I would like to thank you for your time. It's been wonderful having you on the broadcast. We are going to take a 2-minute break here.
Congratulations on your freshman season, by the way, Stefan, here at Roncalli. And
thank you.
For you guys broadcasting your interest in the game and talking us through an exciting next set.
Yeah, we're going to see if Roncalli can take this one home. Best 3 of 5 here. We're going to take actually a 30-second break now. So we'll be right back in the woodshed here at Roncalli. And welcome back to the Woodshed. I'm Stefan Welsh and joined by Dan Sachs here. You're seeing the Rebels take on, the Roncalli Rebels take on the Avon Orioles. And we have some interesting news for you. Alex Payne, we were talking about earlier in the broadcast, is now currently tied for the single season in blocks all time. A single season block record all time here at Roncalli.
For the Roncalli Rebels, yeah. And last year, I believe Nick Williams was the one that
set that record.
Yeah, is holding it currently.
Right.
So his protege or little brother, however you want to call it, Alex Payne, is about to take that step, and he still has another year.
Alex is just a junior. We were talking about this earlier. A very versatile player. You coached him as a freshman, helped coach as a freshman, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I won't take a lot of credit since Cassie was the head coach.
Right.
I was the voluntold assistant, as I say.
So what do you see in Alex? I mean, how does someone come up on a school record like that so quickly? And he didn't even, start. I think he missed, a handful of matches in the beginning of the season where at least he didn't start. He wasn't a starter at the beginning of the season.
Well, I mean, you just watch him for a few points. He's moving every single second of every single point. He's looking at that ball with intent. His movements are with intent every single time.
Right. And part of it's got to be he's just had so much experience up there at the net that he's learned how to read and whatnot.
Yeah.
A quick timeout there. Avon up to a 5-0 start. And it looked like Giovanni was giving a nice top spin over. The Rebels really struggling to handle that one.
Yeah. Again, they're kind of making or breaking that first contact. Is controlling their mentality, their pace of the game. So it's unfortunate to see that they're riding a roller coaster right now. They're the team that has controlled that first contact throughout the state, in my opinion. So I don't see why they should be going around this up and down on this roller coaster.
Well, we're going to take a 30-second break. No, we're going to keep it here. This timeout's pretty much over, so never mind about that one. But so the Rebels here coming back from this timeout. We'll see what Coach Kesterson said about the serve receive. It'd be interesting to pick your wife's mind there, Cassie, because she really takes pride in how these guys serve receive and pass and play defense. What do you think adjustments Cassie might have been talking about there?
She's just telling them to do their job. They know what to do. They're just kind of failing to do the little things, move their feet, keep the ball in front of them, and track it in. So
we'll see if timeout works for Coach's point here, but it doesn't. Austin able to to pass that one, and Alex Payne getting not a block but a kill, tipping right over the outside there. So nice spot into zone 2 or zone 4 for Alex there. Sam Island back to serve now, number 17, senior, returning Indiana Volleyball Player of the Year for boys volleyball, IVPCA, and that is an ace. And number 5, Divine, just has not looked comfortable in serve receive tonight.
Yeah, that ball, he was kind of hoping that was out, I think.
Yeah.
And last minute hesitated to go for it. So Sam's putting that ball in the right spots on the court, so making them think.
That was a nice one. That's the best one I've seen Sam have in a while there. Avon able to recover there and give it to Zach Attack.
Zach Attack.
Number 47, Zach Strauman's able to put that one down, senior on the right side. That is something that Roncalli is capable of doing. You give them a free ball and they can really put it away.
Yeah, that's the teams that have they've struggled with are teams that they're not getting free balls from.
Sam with a really nice serve there, and Alex Payne gets the kill off of Bowman, who was trying to single him up there, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, Payne did a really good job of actually turning that ball to his left shoulder and just getting it off of Bowman's right arm.
In terms of middles that Roncalli's had in the past, really prolific scorer in Blake last year. He was an undersized middle for sure, but could jump out of the gym.
Yep.
It looks like we got something similar to that in Alex Payne. Undersized.
We're going to see a similar thing next year, I think, from Alex and what Blake brought to the team last year.
We're talking about Blake Powell, who was on the state championship team last year, who was actually the finals MVP last year.
Yep. Yeah, he's actually got a pretty good mixture of Blake offensively and then Nick blocking wise, obviously about to break his record of single season. So
right.
Payne's probably the best of both in that sense. He's just got the quickness that Blake had, blocking that Nick had, power that Blake had with the hitting and the athleticism of jumping well. So
yeah, and a good read, a really experienced volleyball player.
Yeah.
That'll really help a whole lot. And I don't know what that was, a warning to the Avon bench from the R1, I suppose.
They must have said something?
Yeah, must have said something inappropriate or something like that. Back to the game here, gameplay. Connor Kuntz with a nice hit off the right side there.
Yeah, Connor doing his going back to his roots of middle, running that slide footwork and getting the assisted kill from the woodshed for number 5.
Yeah, low ceiling. Coach Kesterson was pretty adamant about, I'm going to make my varsity practice in here next year because it makes us a better passing team. With Bowman, impressive hitting around the block on that one. Did he hit over the block or around the block on that one?
I think that was around the block.
Okay, around it.
He could probably hit over the block, but he hit a really nice
inside of it, right?
Yeah, he hit a nice cut shot just back outside of Payne's left shoulder.
Josh Byrne taking that serve from Bowman, and that one is tooled off of Davis for the score. Zach Strauman's another kill. So back to serve number 12, Alex Payne, man of the hour. 1 block away from setting a new single-season school record. And that one taken by Davis. Pretty decent pass for him tonight. Or not Davis, Devine. And Davis actually swings and hits that one into the block on the right side.
Yeah, that sets nice and high. It gives the block plenty of time to set up on that hitter's shoulder, and we should be getting blocks on that all night.
Right. That ball taken by Devine. Bowman with a nice back row set there. And a really nice dig from Alex Payne in the back row just then. Versatile players here. And really, really nice effort to get that one up. Let's see the Rebels. Oh, no, Josh reached back.
Yep.
Something that you're always taught in the front row.
Yeah.
If someone's dumping it over you, don't reach back because the back row player is supposed to be there for you.
Your defense is there to do a job, and it's to keep that ball off the ground. Let them go for that touch, especially someone that's willing to sacrifice and hit the floor for it.
Right. Alex did a great job of digging there. Not many middles are going to dig that ball. Everhart swings and hits that one into the net, tapping his wrist, saying didn't make contact well there.
Yeah, that toss was quite low for a jump serve like that.
So 8-10, Avon down by 2, Roncalli up by 2, of course. Old reliable Benji Pesto back to serve, gets that into zone 6. Bowman, nice pass, and that one is blocked. Blocked again, and
Still alive.
Kept alive, recovered. Rebels, Giovanni sets up Davis on the outside, and that was a really nice line swing.
Yep.
And Benji just couldn't quite get the overhand dig there.
Yeah, hands were a tad late to his head to get a contact, but Davis doing a good job of hitting around the block right now. I mean, he played club. I recognize him from playing club over the past winter, so I know he has that experience at somewhat up to this level, so he knows how to hit around a block, which he's showing that in the last 2 sets.
So close one here in set number 4. Roncalli up 2-1. This is the regional championship, and Josh really letting go on that one, but that goes begging. It's hard float out instead of a nice topspin ball in.
Yeah, we call that a waffle hit.
A waffle. He's a waffle maker.
That was a waffle hit for sure. Didn't snap on it. Power, but did not snap on get on top of it.
Right. Davis back for the serve once again. And he swings, and that one finds the middle of the net. So Roncalli point, side out, and Josh Byrne back to serve here. That's going to bring Connor Kuntz into the front row for the Rebels. Bowman takes that one. Giovanni throws it up for Davis. We had a triple block there, and it looks like that one went off the top. And really nice job of reading the other side there. I think that is something that Sam has done very well so far, is reading and reacting and dumping into zone 4 there when Devine was gone was really nice play.
Yeah, took advantage of the transition of defense, not getting back to their base.
Good coverage right now for the Rebels. I know they practice that. Up ball to Devine, who's a lefty swinging on the outside right now.
Yeah, coverage, isn't that one of the favorite drills of John and Cassie?
That's right. They call it the Rebel drill. Well, that one is.
The Rebel drill.
They do the 3 C's as well, but they do. I must see it at least a few times a week where they do the Rebel drill, which I won't get into right now because that's really technical stuff. But that one was obviously a miscommunication there. The ceiling of the woodshed taking a point from the Rebels that time.
Do we put it down to 5 then, or 4?
5, sure. Yeah.
Put it back down to 4, I think.
Brandon trying to reach that one, wasn't quite able to, and Bowman was in the zone, ready to put that one down. So Bowman's having a pretty good day, making a big impact at the net for these Orioles here. Number 13, Jacob, back to serve that one. The Rebels, looked like Connor was going back because he read tip, but we were blocking, and that one went off of Grandin's hands.
Yeah. Blocking the free ball.
Connor had already committed to getting back so that he could be available for probably a shoot or something.
Yep.
Nice pass by Benji. Pretty good set, and that one is
overturned again.
Overruled. It was close.
Yeah.
It was close. I don't know what I would have said, but it was close.
I believe both of them.
Yeah.
I believe they both saw in and out because I can't see from up here.
Yeah. That one taken by Josh, and Connor struggling right now. The Rebels are struggling a little bit, so Avon takes over. 14-13. Takes over the lead here in set number 4.
Roncalli's
15-13, I should say.
Roncalli's offense has to get back on the same page. They've been stuck in this rotation. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, is have the other team miss their serve. So Austin Hendricks now back to serve for the Rebels. We'll see if energy levels dipped a little bit, making more mistakes on the Rebels side. And on the other side, of course, it has just the opposite effect, right? When some other team, it's like this
the seesaw.
Yeah, the seesaw battle here. And Alex Payne punishing that ball in the middle. But it definitely seems like it's like it's this plus-minus game, right? If we have momentum, you don't. If we've got energy, you don't. If we're hitting well, you're not.
Right.
That type of thing. The way it seems like this one is working out right now.
Yeah, it has been a seesaw kind of game.
And that one is just out. And looks like Coach Kesterson's a little frustrated. Maybe trying to reach back into Seinfeld, Serenity Now time. Serenity Now. I saw him put his arms up, and typically you won't see him do that a whole bunch. He's pretty good with the body language, but obviously frustrated with serves right now.
Yeah.
Decent pass there by Josh, and that one pushed over by Alex, and he gets
almost.
Oh, wasn't able to get that one. Alex just came one block close.
I have faith he'll get it in this set. He's got 2 more rotations to go through to get a block.
And here's Giovanni. Nice, strong topspin. Josh, a pretty good pass again. He's hitting from the back row. That one dug. Bowman, that's off the top of the block.
Yep.
Certainly is. And right now the Rebels really struggling with Bowman in the front row. And Giovanni serving tough. But the passes have been just fine, it seems like.
Yeah,
you can run your offense from where we're passing the ball right now.
Yeah, I agree. That's why the offense just isn't finding the court.
Benji with a pretty good pass there. Connor coming in. That was a nice little play. Maybe that's something the Rebels need to mix in a little more, is get that middle to bite on something else and set somewhere else.
Yep.
Not a bad option there.
Yeah, on a nice high pass like that, a jump set does wonders for that middle. That middle has no idea if that setter's, especially a lefty setter.
And if you're your front row, you got to stick with him.
Yep. Or at least the outside, give your middle and outside a one-on-one opportunity.
Yeah. And Sam serves that one out. 19-16 ball game here. Rebels down by 3 in set number 4. They're up 2-1. This is the regional championship game between Avon and Roncalli. And that was a really nice pass and pretty sweet slide action there. That ball called in. Of course, now Connor is going to go swing, or serve, I should say. Back row. Josh Byrne in the front row now. Maybe we'll see some more.
We're going to see some off shots, I think.
Off shots, yeah. Josh pretty good at mixing it up.
He likes that roll shot.
He's crafty.
He is crafty, yes.
Yeah. Connor jump floats that one over in. Bowman swinging out of the middle. Great dig by Austin, and thrown into where the setter should have been. It's never a bad idea to, if you need to dump the ball over the net, find where the setter should be.
Yep, take him out of that transition.
Yep.
Force a different person taking second contact for sure.
Good serve from Connor there. Davis swings outside the block and scores in the back middle of the court there, zone 6. Connor wasn't able to get there to dig that one, but it looked like we only had one blocker there.
Yeah,
is that right?
Payne jumped with Bowman in the middle. I don't necessarily blame him, but that's one of those things you got to start reading the hit setter to
read a little better there, yeah.
Oh, there's that off-speed.
And there's the off-speed shot. Bowman not able to reach and dig that one. I would argue that's probably not his ball anyway.
Yeah,
probably Divine that's got to go and get that.
That or
short
the off blocker. Yeah. If you can see it, you should be able to slide in and take that.
I'm surprised Avon didn't get called out of rotation on that one. Certainly the whistle blew and the ball had been hit before the middle up front had been over in his position. And then maybe they're having a conversation about that right now. Oh, we're having a timeout here from Avon. Okay, so timeout from Avon. We are going to take a 30-second break here. We'll be back in the woodshed after this. Welcome back to the Roncalli gym here, the Woodshed in Indianapolis, Indiana. You're watching this game here between this regional championship game here between Roncalli, the number 2 ranked team in state, and the number 15 ranked Avon Orioles. Alex Payne back to serve for the Rebels, a 2020 ball game. That one dumped. Big Zach Strauman's getting a little bit of a dump there. Channeling his younger brother Jackson Straumans for that one.
His inner setter.
His inner setter.
It must be in the blood.
Yep. And that ball floated over and in from a guy who's having a great game, a great match. We were just looking at some stats, and Alex Payne is doing real good.
Yeah,
right
he's hitting a 833, 10 kills. I just looked.
No errors.
No errors. Zach Straumans with that dump puts him at. He was hitting a 556 before that kill.
Only a 556.
Only. On a right side. That's they're both, I mean, they're top 2 hitters on the team, so
yeah,
it's expected.
Josh Byrne really getting into that one. That was a really nice run at that. A quick set to the outside, had the middle bite. And right now we're seeing Avon is stuck with Bowman in the back row, and that's really a huge difference right now, isn't it?
Yeah, Roncalli's got to take advantage.
I don't know if that one was more blocked or hit into the net, but certainly not a great offensive run there for Avon. And we are at match point for the Rebels. Oh, and Alex couldn't get it to go.
And that is donuts for the team.
Yeah.
And hopefully the announcers.
Yeah. Although I've had my fair share of donuts this morning already. Goodness. Everhart here. Back to serve for Avon. Oh, my goodness.
That was not his normal serve.
What was that? And that ball hits the ground. Everhard looks like he's upset with himself over that funky serve. But Rebels win this regional championship. I can't recall how many in a row, but hopefully Coach Kesterson can come and talk to us about that a little bit. So we're going to take a 2-minute break here. We're going to break some things down. We'll be back with some stats and hopefully a conversation with Coach Kesterson here. We'll be right back in the Woodshed. You're listening and watching to Rebel Media Network.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Just one more. We'll be fine.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Are you a barista? Because I like you a latte.
MILTO Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
And welcome back to the Woodshed. I'm Stefan Welsh alongside Dan Sachs here. We got Cassie Sachs, assistant coach, joining us, and John Kesterson, head coach, joining us as well. After the Rebels take the regional championship 3-1 over Avon. Coach, real quick, how many regional championships is that now for Roncalli?
That's 11 in a row for us.
11 in a row.
So quite a precedent. And, hopefully we can keep this going.
Nice.
We're well past my years.
Right. So after the first set, what were you thinking? Or in the midst of the first set, what were you thinking?
I can say that in polite company.
Right.
It just wasn't Roncalli volleyball. We weren't communicating. We weren't talking. We weren't getting our shots. Everything was off. Our passing, our serving, our setting, our hitting. It just wasn't us. So the boys just need an attitude adjustment, and we both gave them our attitude adjustment, and we came out and dominated the next two sets at least. But Avon's a decent team. They're not going to give up. That's why we were tight in that fourth set. So.
It was my first time seeing Avon play, and I was telling Dan and said it throughout the broadcast, I was really impressed with their serving.
Yes.
They really seemed, and a little unorthodox sometimes, especially the last one. But it really seemed like they were.
So
they were serving tough. Cassie, what were some of the adjustments that you were talking to the guys about there, serve receive wise?
Yeah, so I mean, I work a lot with the serve receive, and they're so used to seeing some sort of like format or system to the serves. So something normal like a standing float or a jump float or some sort of topspin float, that just seems normal. Like you said, when the serves become unorthodox, they kind of get a little flustered and confused on what's happening. Yeah. So lots of communication about just because the serve at the beginning is kind of weird or different doesn't mean that ball coming to you is any different. The seams are still the same, that pass is still the same.
Responsibilities are still the same.
And just taking that ownership of getting that ball to the setter and doing your job is just constant communication of making sure that they understand that that's their role.
Well, Coach, we were talking about Alex Payne having a really, really awesome season for you.
Yes.
But
yes.
He's one block shy now of owning the record, right?
Yeah. Well, he's tied with Nick Williams now. So, Nick, if you're out there, sorry you're about to lose your record.
Right. He's bound to get one in the next match.
Yes, easily. Because he's been averaging over 2 per set. So today was actually an off day for him blocking.
Yeah, he made me look bad. I said he was going to get it by the end of the set, and he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
Yeah.
They just kept hitting around him and over him. So.
Sure.
And he kept reaching higher and higher, and then we'd have issues with that. But,
right.
Because that's not our blocking scheme. But
nice.
He will get it.
Uh-oh. Well, we just lost our camera there, so we'll go to our graphic. Aaron Richardson, our awesome person there, on our director right now.
Quick hands.
Aaron, I'm guessing that our battery died, so if you want to hook him up with the battery, the big battery from the yellow case there, that'd be awesome. Well, while the camera's down, we can continue our conversation anyhow. So, camera's back here. Awesome. Coach,
yes.
In this match, how does this prepare you for heading into state next weekend?
Well, it's good to be pushed, even if it's our own fault through our own doing. It's good for the kids to have to battle. I mean, it's just military leadership 101. Boys need to battle the bond. So through those struggles, they will learn to believe and respect each other. So anytime we can be pushed is good.
Certainly. Something that I told my team this year is smooth waters don't make for good sailors.
Exactly. Very good.
So
as a Navy man, I love that.
Sure. Well, just some other things we were taking a look at. In terms of blocking, you had a couple really good blocks tonight.
Yes.
A really nice big block tonight. But we're looking at Alex, and he had 10 kills, no errors.
Right.
Hit 833 for you.
Yes. He is always 110%. I don't know that he's ever had a bad match.
No. When he does do something that's off for Alex, he very quickly just transitions and fixes himself.
Right.
And he understands what he needs to do.
Yeah. Had a couple of really good digs in the back row too.
Yes.
Versatile player.
It's good that you can have a middle who can play back row. It's good that you can have a middle who can play back row.
Coach will get that. Coach will get that mic thing down here pretty soon.
It really isn't my scene.
Josh Byrne had 16 kills for you. Of course, Zach Strawman's 13 kills, 1 error. It was his last game here on campus. What has he meant to you throughout the years here?
I mean, his teammates voted him MVP, if that tells you anything. And
right.
Clearly he is the MVP of this team.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the team. In timeouts, he's talking as if he's a coach. And we give him free rein because everything he says is correct. He knows that much of the game to where he can coach.
He's a nice presence to have on the court there, right?
And then his power, and we just need to work on his blocking a bit. But every kid has something to work on.
Right,
oh, yeah.
Right. Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you very much.
Who do you got next week? Do we know yet?
Brebeuf beat Franklin Community today in their regional.
And we struggled a little bit in the first set against Brebeuf last week or the week before, right?
Yes, and they took us 5 at their place during our conference. So we'll be pushed, which is good. I'd much rather be pushed and win than have an easy run.
Right.
It's never good to have an easy run through state.
Right. And this year's state is at a different location.
Franklin Community.
And
yes.
Are they going to be running 1 game at a time, 2 games at a time?
So Friday night, Saturday morning, they will have multiple games going, and that will be in their auxiliary gym, and then the championship game will be held in the main gym.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, we look forward to that. Hopefully we're there to call and watch.
Well, I hope so. That would be awesome. You better be there.
So if you're listening, hook it up.
Right.
We'll see you at Franklin Community.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Franklin Community. Next week is last week of practice.
Yes,
and
4 days of practice.
And let's see if the Rebels can take another one home.
We better take another one home.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Good luck.
Congrats. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, that's going to wrap it up for us here in the Woodshed this season. I appreciate having you alongside me. Our awesome student crew here. We've got Seth Roseberry behind the camera. We've got Aaron Richardson directing, making awesome calls all night. Really wonderful place to be. Thank you for joining us between, here for the regional championship match that is between Avon and Roncalli. We are going to sign off here. Thanks everybody for watching, and maybe you'll catch us next week for some state championship volleyball action.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so.
Take care.
All right.